Good evening, dear teacher. We are group number 8, conformed by Fernanda Cantos, Abigail Diaz, Lilibel Chica, Jose Rosero, and Daniel Escobar, and this is learning activity number 7.
Good evening, teacher. My name is Daniel Escobar. I am talking about the phonetic features. Language is the mind of the words, which in the turn are made of the phonemes, some categories that convey meaning, and phones, some categories that not necessarily convey meaning. The elements making up distinguishing phones are phonetic features. How to discuss features? We write about some futures or about how the future relates to a sound, we write the future in brackets with a or to indicate its value. For example, the voiced velar stop is voiced, dorsal, and high among of the things. When the font has multiple future specifications that we are interested in talking about, we produce a future matrix. Could be voice, dorsal, and height. Often in the literature, these are written in a vertical fashion with the brackets extending the length of the stack, but the brevetted stakes will stick in the matrices.
Hello teacher, major class feature. There are four major class features. Number one syllabic, number two approximate, number three vocally, number four sonorant. These four features don't have much in common physically, but they give the overall taste of the font. Syllabic zero. Some are thus which may function as the nucleus of a syllable. I will avoid an independent discussion of prosody syllables and sure for now, but the basic gist is that the sound can be the center of a syllable. By default, only vowels are syllabic and all consonants are syllabic. For example, mother, mother, picnic, picnic, vocally. Vocally, the vowels and guilds or semi-vowels are considered vocalic and all other sounds are vocalic. This feature exists preliminary to distinguish the guilds for other consonants due to their similar to vowels. Guilds are essentially just vowels that want to be consonants. For example, car, guitar, are approximate. Approximate phones are super of the vocalic phones. Approximate applies to the approximate width, includes vowels leakies, for example, L, R, and guilds, for example, W, J. All other sounds are approximate, for example, laurel, flowers, yellow, sonorant, song, are another super design of the approximant phone. Sonorant additionally includes nasal consonants, specifically, uh, sonorant refers to any speech song which procedures a non-turbulent airflow.
Hi, Master. I'm going to talk about the manner features. These features are used to describe how articulators are used to modify the airflow as it comes out from the lungs. We have four manner features. Number one, continuant. Number two, nasal. Number three, lateral. And number four, strident. In the next part, I'm going to explain the manner features. Continuant. Air must flow over a period of time. That is, the airflow is continuous. Lateral. Lateral sounds are those which involve the air flowing around the sides of the tongue, instead over the top of it. Nasal. Sounds allow air to escape through the nasal cavity nose. Strident. Sounds which are The character is by Highland frequency noise. Thank you.
Place features. There are 11 total place features, including the dependent features. Place features describe where in the mouth the primary articular is positioned to produce a particular sound. The place features are labial, round, coronal, anterior distributed, dorsal, high, low, back, and pharyngeal ATR. The indentation of certain features indicate dependent features. A dependent feature such as round can only be given a specification if its parent feature has a positive specification. So a sound which has a labial specification cannot be more round or less round. Well, that seems wordly selective, you might say, and you'd be right, but that's the way it goes. Laryngeal features. We come to the laryngeal features. Laryngeal means these features have to do how the larynx is utilized during sound production. There are three laryngeal features: voiced, aspirated, and glottalized.
Good evening, my name is Karen Abigail Diaz, and I'm going to talk about phonological rules. First, what are phonological rules? They are part of communication through language, whether spoken or written, and knowing what they are and why they exist can help us better understand our world. Understanding phonological rules is considered an important aspect in teaching English or working with people who have speech problems. Phonological rules describe how phonemes are realized as their allophones in a given environment. In a phonology typically refers to neighboring phonemes. They are mappings between two different levels of sound representation, in this case the abstract or underlying level on the surface level. And finally, we have functions of phonological rules. Phonological rules can have a number of functions. Among them, we have the following. First, change feature values. Second, add new features, distinctive or not distinctive, for example, aspiration in English. Third, delete segments, which is contraction rules in English. Fourth, add segments, insertion in plural or past tense. Fifth, reorder segments, for example, metathesis, which changes, for example, SK to KS. And then we have phonological rules, often referred to entire classes of sounds rather than to the individual sounds. And finally, we have phonological rules and generated to account for what occurs in a language. They are not originally used to describe children's and disordered speech, however, they have been applied to describe children's and disordered speech. Now we have types of phonological rules. Phonological rules can be understood through the following phonological processes. First, we have assimilation. It refers to all adaptive modifications of a segment in a chain of segments by a neighboring segment. Assimilation is a process whereby one sound causes an adjacent sound to be more similar to itself. Then we have dissimilation. Dissimilation is when a sound changes one of its features to become less similar to an adjacent sound, usually to make the two sounds more distinguishable. This type of rule is often seen among people speaking a language that is not their native language, where the sound contrasts may be difficult, so the rule is applied for ease of production and perception. Then we have delation, which is a process by which a sound present in the phonemic form is removed from the phonemic form in a certain environments for ease of production. And finally, we have insertion. Not only can segments be deleted, sometimes they can be inserted instead. There seem to be two basic reasons for insertion. First, preventing clusters of consonants and violate syllable structure constraints in the language, and easing transitions between segments that have multiple incompatibilities.